Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Uncharted 1 Crushing Difficulty walkthrough, and this is chapter 14, also known as Going Underground. And we have ventured into the basement of the church, and we're gonna get past this abyssal crevice to get over to that side, and we're gonna end up in a firefight. It's quite a small fight, but it can be very challenging if you get a bit unlucky, because you're gonna get rushed by 4 enemies. 3 of them are gonna come from your left and 1 over to the right, and they are quite quick to spread out and attack you on all flanks and fronts and backs, and it's borderline gangbang, non-consensual backdoor internet porn. But the key here is to be aggressive, so I throw in a grenade and I try to soften them up at least, because no one ever dies from grenades in this game. You may sometimes do it, and everyone's in a great mood when the stars are aligned and the moon is right and Jupiter is ascending and all that stuff. Maybe, just maybe, you will get really lucky and kill an enemy with it. And that is something that changes in the sequels. But now we just have the laser sight guy left, and for some reason, I don't know if you saw that, feel free to rewind the video, but I think I took a Desert Eagle shot to the toe and went complete Arnold on it and survived. I don't know how it happened. It may be me seeing my eyes deceiving me, but it looked like that bullet made contact, and for some reason, God knows why, I survived. Maybe it's because we're on holy ground, we're underneath a church, so maybe higher powers intervened. I don't think so, since I don't believe in God, and the only time I go to a church is in this video game, actually. But a little update on my recording problems that I talked about in my previous video. I have done some troubleshooting and more or less pulled my head out of my ass and started thinking, and I think I have found a problem. And the problem is not in my computer, it's in the USB cable I've used to connect the game capture card to it. Because I said I tried hooking it up to my girlfriend's computer and it worked perfectly. And I got locked in the mindset that it has to be something wrong with the computer, so I've been focusing on that. But finally, in an act of desperation, I tried a different cable and suddenly it worked flawlessly. And I've been able to record with this faulty cable because, as I said, it loses the signal at complete random, so I thought I had just dodgy ports, and since it does work on occasion, it decided to do that when I plugged it into my girlfriend's computer just to fool me and go like, hey, yeah, you can't find the problem. But that is fixed now. I went yesterday and bought a new USB cable, so hopefully very soon I will be done recording Uncharted 2 and I'm gonna move on to Uncharted 3. And also I'm gonna prep Uncharted 2 for editing, of course. And it's quite interesting with the Uncharted series when you're playing games back to back, because the last couple of weeks I haven't been playing anything else, actually. Instead, I have focused on recording these games, and I've been working a lot, so I haven't had much time to just play for my own amusement, because I want to stay ahead. Even though my channel is very small, it's borderline microscopic, I want to be very consistent, and I want to stay on top of things. So if anything goes wrong, if I lose a video or something, as I did with, I told you about one of the raw videos for this game, got blinked out of existence for no particular reason, other than my computer didn't want to cooperate. But I'm gonna start recording Uncharted 3 soon, and I've been watching some videos on Uncharted 3 just for my own joy, basically, because I like watching gameplay. I've talked about this before, and I think it's quite interesting how this series has evolved over the years, or over the course of, let's say, 5 games, because I haven't played Golden Abyss. More or less, I've tried it a little bit. I think I talked about that in a video that I tried it, but I think the controls in that game, due to the limitations of the PlayStation Vita, aren't as good as in these home console games. Is maybe the most correct term for it. So I didn't get very far. I thought it was a bit frustrating to play, but I think I read somewhere that Naughty Dog are open to the possibility of making a home console version of it. Not that they are planning to do it, but they haven't closed the door to the idea of doing it, or the possibility of doing it, and hopefully they will release a PS4 version of it, because I'm really psyched to play it. Someday will probably play it on my PS Vita, just because I want to play it and experience it. Quick note here, this is a little puzzle. You have to ring both bells. So we ring the first one and we shoot the second one, so we open the secret passage, so we can venture further into the catacombs. But the game series has really evolved, and when you weigh it against The Last of Us, you can see that, as a friend of mine once said, that when you go through the Uncharted series and you see that they have led up to The Last of Us. The Last of Us is as good as it is, and the controls are so tight and the combat is so great in that game due to what they learned from making the Uncharted games. And I think there is a lot of truth to that. And also it's noticeable in Uncharted 4 as well, which also has... All these games have tight controls, it's not that, but it gets progressively better and more balanced over the games, in a lot of ways. Some mechanics get worse over time, or aren't as good optimized in some of the games as in others, but it is an ongoing process. And this first game is at times very rough. I've talked about that before, but it is a 10-year-old game, and it was the first game in the series, so you have to forgive them for that. And all games have flaws. We have yet to see the perfect game, but at least Naughty Dog is one of those developers that always try to get better and make the controls better and all that stuff. They're not Ubisoft that just sells the same game over and over again. And I really do hope that they will stay true to their word, that there won't be any more Uncharted games after the Lost Legacy, except for a home console version of Golden Abyss, because I don't want to be sitting here in 10 years playing Uncharted 672, because they said this is the end of Nathan's story. It's called A Thief's End, and I hope it is the end of the series. Golden Abyss, or sorry, The Lost Legacy, is an expansion to that. It will tell a different story, and hopefully it will end there, so they don't become Ubisoft and start milking a already dead cow that has stopped mooing a long time ago. But apparently it works. Ubisoft has done it for years. And we have The Last of Us 2 coming next year, which I'm really looking forward to, of course. And that is also a game series I would have respected Naughty Dog, and I would have loved Naughty Dog if they have never made a sequel for it. I do think it will be great, and I'm very glad that it will be coming out, or that it's coming out. But if they had never made it, I wouldn't have missed it. because the story in that game is good as it is. But I'm really psyched to see what they're gonna do and how they are gonna evolve on Ellie and hopefully Joel. There are some rumors going around the internet that Joel may be dead in The Last of Us 2, and the quest that Ellie sets out on is to revenge his death, or avenge his death. But we're gonna have to see when it comes out. But this is the end of chapter 14, and I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.